My argument is why Jackie Kennedy was the most influential fashion figure in the 1960s. Background and early life. Jacqueline Lee Bouvier was born on July 28, 1929 in Southampton, New York. Her father, John, was a wealthy stockbroker on Wall Street whose family had come from France in the early 1800s. Her mother, Janet, had ancestors from Ireland and England. Janet Bouvier was an accomplished rider, and Jackie was only a year old when her mother put her on her first horse. By age 11, she had already won several national championships. When she started kindergarten in New York, one of her teachers, Miss Platt, thought Jackie was a darling child, the prettiest little girl, very clever, very artistic, and full of the devil. At times she did get into mischief and would be sent to the headmistresses. When Jackie was 10 years old, her parents divorced. It was a difficult period for her, especially because at the time few children had divorced parents. She also came from a Catholic family, and the Catholic Church disapproves of divorces. Jackie had always been a private person, but now she became quieter, keeping her thoughts to herself. She had many advantages and opportunities in her life, like taking ballet and French. When she turned 13, her mother married a businessman named Hugh Auchincloss, who had children from previous marriages. Besides her younger sister, Lee, Jackie now had two stepbrothers, Yasha and Tommy, and a stepsister, Nina. Jackie graduated from boarding school in Connecticut in 1947 and went to study literature, art, and French at Vassar College in New York. In her junior year, she studied abroad in Paris, France. She came home and transferred from Vassar College to the George Washington University because she preferred being in the city and close to her family. While she was in Paris, she learned a lot and saw new aspects of culture. She had always had an eye for color and design, so Jacqueline started her first job in the fall of 1951 as the inquiring camera girl for the Washington Times-Herald newspaper. Roving around the city, she took pictures of people she encountered, asked them questions on the issues of the day, and wove their answers into her newspaper column. Throughout this time, she met John F. Kennedy, who at the time was a congressman, and soon to be the senator of Massachusetts. On September 12, 1953, they married at St. Mary's Church in Newport, Rhode Island. She soon became the First Lady, and her love for fashion and design grew. She became known as a fashion icon. She has a French-American style. From 1961 to late 1963, her stylist designer Cassini dressed her in many of her most iconic pieces, including her Inauguration Day fawn coat and inaugural gala gown, as well as many outfits for her visits to Europe, India, and Pakistan. His mission was to dress her as an American queen. In 1961, Kennedy spent $45,446 more on fashion than the $100,000 annual salary her husband earned as president. Although Cassini was her primary designer, she also loved to wear pieces by French fashion legends such as Chanel, Givenchy, and Dior. While she was a First Lady, she preferred to wear three-quarter sleeves on notch collar jackets, clean-cut suits with the skirt hemmed down to the middle of the knee, low-heeled pumps, pillbox hats, A-line dresses, and above-the-elbow gloves. She wore a certain hairstyle often called the bouffant hairstyle, and is described as a grown-up exaggeration of little girl's hair. She always had perfectly styled hair, which was created by Kenneth Battelle, who worked for her from 1954 until 1986. After she was the First Lady and her husband John F. Kennedy passed away, her style began to change. She started wearing wide-legged pants, large label jackets, gypsy skirts, silk Hermes headscarves, and large, round, dark sunglasses. Her oversized sunglass trend influenced many and became very popular, which still is today. She had a way of making a casual outfit look formal and chic. For example, she often paired headscarves with oversized sunglasses. Elbow-length gloves were another essential for Jackie, which she would wear at any occasion. Strapless gowns were also a staple for her, which she often wore. It showed off her dainty physique, and others gradually started to wear them under her influence. She often chose to wear brighter colors and patterns, and even began wearing jeans in public. She would often wear white jeans with a black turtleneck, never tucked in, but pulled down over the hips, was another fashion trend that she set. Her style was described as simple, elegant, and iconic. She also collected a vast amount of jewelry throughout her lifetime. She would always wear a triple-strand pearl necklace that was designed by American jeweler Kenneth J. Lang, which became her signature piece of jewelry during her time as First Lady in the White House. Another statement piece often worn by her was referred to as the berry brooch, which is a two-fruit cluster brooch of strawberries made of ruberries with stems and leaves of diamonds, which was designed by a French jeweler, Jean Skullenberger, for Tiffany & Co. It was personally selected and given to her by her husband several days prior to his inauguration in January. She wore Skullenberger's gold and enamel bracelets so frequently in the early and mid-1960s that the press called them Jackie bracelet in the 1970s. Her sentimental favorite was the Van Cleef and Arpels wedding ring given to her by President Kennedy. Jackie Kennedy popularized many accessories and made them a unique way in her own. This is why so many admired her and looked up to her fashion taste. She could express herself and her emotions through her fashion. Many people clung on to her creative and different ideas. Not many women during this period were like her, and she inspired many throughout her lifetime. The 1960s is when many young women wanted a change. Women started dressing and acting differently. Many women copied Jackie Kennedy because of her simple but yet elegant style. She would make the most basic outfits look appealing. So, many awards were given to Jackie throughout her lifetime for her fashion. For example, in 1965, Kennedy was named to the International Best Dressed List Hall of Fame. In 2012, Time magazine included Kennedy on its all-time 100 fashion icons list. In 2016, Forbes included her on the list 10 fashion icons and the trends they made famous. This video portrays some of Jackie's most iconic moments in fashion history. Some of her outfits are still on display at the National Museum of American History, like the pink outfit she wore on the day of JFK's assassination. Jackie was the most influential fashion figure in the 1960s because of her following and trends. The 1960s was the peak of her fashion, and she rose to the top when she became the First Lady. She impacted many Americans, and people are still inspired by her today.